Everyone, welcome. So you're thinking about CISSP or you may be started studying and you open domain 1 security and risk management and your first thought might be wait, where are the firewalls? Where is IDS, IPS? Where is the configuration? Where I will do my firewall configuration, right? But here's the thing. Domain 1 is where they separate the technicians from leaders. It makes up 16% of exam, but honestly, it's 100% of the mindset you need to be effective in cybersecurity today. It's not about configuring a router, it's about making decisions that protect an entire organization. Today, we are breaking down domain 1 in a plain English with real example. Let's get into it. It's a leadership domain. First, why does this domain even exist? Because in the real world, you don't get blank check for security. You have to align security with business goals. You cannot say that security first and business next. Think of it like this. If you're the security lead for an online bank, your job is not just to encrypt data. It's about to enable safe online banking so the bank can make money and keep customers. If you're at Netflix, your primary focus is not just locking down internal HR files, though that's important, it's making sure that services stays up and streams when millions log on Friday night. That's business alignment. Domain 1 builds that strategic, risk based thinking. It's the foundation. Before we talk the tactics, CSSP, CISSPs have code of ethics. It's not just nice to have, it's mandatory. There are four main canons. Protect society, your duty is to the public good. Act with integrity, be honest and lawful. Serve your employer diligently, but not blindly. Public trust still matters. Advance the profession. Let's make this real with classic ethical dilemma. A power company finds a critical flaw in its grid control software. Patching it will cause a brief outage and bad press. They are tempted to delay. What do you do as a CISSP? The code is clear. Protect society, canon 1 comes first. You must advocate for responsible disclosure and even if it's uncomfortable. Your integrity to canon 2 is on the line. This is the kind of thinking the exam tests. Let's talk about CIA Triad. You heard the terms confidentiality, integrity, ability. But CISSP wants you to think in real life, not definitions. Confidentiality means preventing unauthorized access. Example, your WhatsApp messages use end to end encryption. Only the sender and receiver should be able to read them. If, you, if a third party can see the message, confidentiality is broken. Integrity means data. Integrity means data stays accurate and unaltered. Example, when you download software, you verify the SHA-256 hash. If the hash matches the publisher's value, you know the file was not modified. When you download software, you verify SHA-256 hash. If the hash matches publisher's value, you know the file was not modified. Another example, blockchain. Bitcoin works because every transaction's integrity is cryptographically protected. Availability means systems and data are accessible when needed. Example, when a cloud provider goes down and website becomes unreachable, that's an availability failure, even if the data is still secure. Here's the CSSP mindset. You can't maximize all three equally. For a classified government database, confidentiality comes first. For a 911 emergency system, availability is top priority. As a security professional, your job is not just to protect systems, it's to decide which part of CIA it's to decide which it's to decide which part of CIA triad gets priority based on business impact. Let me show you CIA in a real example. I'm on this website, and if I click on this lock icon next to the URL, you see SSL certificate. What this certificate does is simple. It makes sure the data traveling between your browser and this website is encrypted. So if I log in, enter a password, or submit personal data, nobody sitting on the network can read it. That's confidentiality in action, protecting data from being an unauthorized people. Now, let's talk about integrity, and this is where hashing comes in. See this certificate again. Behind the scene, it uses cryptographic hashes and digital signatures. When your browser receives a certificate, it verifies the hash. Even one bit of the certificate is changed, the hash won't match, and your browser will warn. You can see. That's how your system knows the data was not tampered with. Same concept when you download software, you compare file hashes with one of the provided vendor. Matching this hash file is trusted, different hash assume it's compromised. That's integrity, ensuring data remains accurate and modified. So remember this for CISSP, certificates and encryptions protect confidentiality, hashing and signature protects integrity. So this is arguably the most important part of domain 1. Security is fundamental risk. Security is fundamental risk management. You can't stop every threat. You manage risk based on what the business can tolerate. The process is a cycle. Identify the risk. What is your what is what if our data center floods? Assess the impact. How much money would we lose per hour? Choose a response. This is the big one. You have four options. Avoid. Don't do the risky thing. Example, don't collect sensitive data. You don't need it. Mitigate. Put in a control. Example, install a firewall, run backups. Transfer, make it someone else's problem. Example, get cyber insurance or outsource to SaaS. Knowingly lie with it. Example, a low likely small, low likelihood risk where a fix costs more than a potential loss. You might assess risk qualitatively high, medium, low for a quick prioritization meeting or quantitatively using scary sounding formulas like ALE is equal to SLE into ARO. Annual loss expectancy equals single loss expectancy into annual rate of occurrence to get a dollar figure to show to the CFO. Consider using multiple cloud providers for redundancy. This framework turns a vague goal into actionable, measurable control. Consider using multiple cloud providers for redundancy. This framework turns a vague goal into actionable, measurable control. Consider using multiple cloud providers for redundancy. This framework turns a vague goal into actionable, measurable control. Consider Consider using multiple cloud providers for redundancy. This framework turns a vague goal into actionable, measurable control. Finally, Domain 1 reminds us that security is about people and process. Business continuity is about staying alive during a disaster. It starts with business impact analysis to ask what's our most critical function, how much fast we recover it, RTO, how much data we can afford to lose, RPO. Then you build, then you build resiliency. Security is huge. Your employees are your best defense or your biggest weakness. Before hiring, do background checks. During employment, constant security awareness training. Phishing simulation, turn your team into human firewalls. On termination, immediately revoke access. It's not personal, it's a procedure. As the saying goes, security is not just about technology, it's about people, process, and strategic thinking, and that's exactly what Domain 1 teaches you. So to wrap up CSSP to wrap up CSSP Domain 1, it's the strategic leadership foundation. You start with ethics, apply CIA Triad to balance the needs, master the risk management cycle, understand the laws and policies you operate, never forget the people and planning side.